Bandy, and this is my buddy Gibson, and today we're here to do the Nightmare Before Christmas book tag for Tag Tuesdays. Every Tuesday I do a different book tag, and it's kind of fun because you get to know about some of the books that are on my shelf, some of the books that I'm reading, things that I've read in the past. So today, since it is officially the end of November and about to be the start of December, I thought I'd kick it off with a tag themed around my absolute favorite Christmas movie, which is The Nightmare Before Christmas. Or really, it could be Halloween or Christmas movie. I like to watch it all the way from October through December. I grew up when this movie first came out, so I have a particular fondness for it. And when I saw that there was a book tag for it, I was like, oh, I gotta do this one. So today we're gonna do that real quick, and you can get to know some of the books that are on my shelf. So, that being said, let's get to prompt number one. Prompt number one is Jack, a book with a character who longs for more. So the book that we're going to be talking about for this prompt is The Girl with the Louding Voice by Abi Dare. This book is set in Nigeria, and it features a character named Aduni who longs to get an education and better herself and her life. She comes from poverty, and she's struggling to overcome it and also to help others along the way. So immediately when I saw this prompt, this is the first book that I thought of. It was on my November TBR, and I did not get a chance to read it, so I'm definitely going to be trying to read this in December. The next prompt is Sally, a book with a character who loves someone so much and actually gets them in the end. So this was a super hard prompt for me. I honestly don't read a lot of romance books. I don't have a lot of books at all that feature characters who are romantically involved, especially something that centers around that kind of a romance or relationship. So this was difficult. Ultimately, I decided on The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. I don't want to say too much about it just because I don't want to spoil the book in case you haven't read it. But there's definitely some characters who truly seem to love each other. Alright, number 3 is Zero, a book with a loyal sidekick. And I'm glad that I have my loyal sidekick here with me today while I get to do this book review. He's, busy resting and napping after a really long Thanksgiving weekend. Getting old. My 12-year-old baby. So anyways, back to the books. Zero, a book with a loyal sidekick. So I haven't read this book yet, but based on what I remember from Greek mythology, I think this will fit the prompt. And that's the Song of Achilles. This book features Achilles and his little sidekick / friend, Patroclus. And from what I understand, this book is actually about the relationship between Patroclus and Achilles. So I'm going to pick that one for this prompt. Let me know in the comments if you've read this, if this fits the prompt, or if I'm just pulling at straws here. Next up, Oogie Boogie, a book with one hell of a wicked villain. So I read this series quite a few years back, and my memories are a little bit hazy of it, but I remember the villain being pretty unlikable. And that is the Cinder series. This particular book is Fairest, which is all about Lavanna, the villain. She shows up through all of the books in the series, so from Cinder, Scarlet, Crest, and Winter, and then Fairest kind of gives us the backstory to why she became the way that she was. Basically, she is a queen, and she was horribly scarred by a not very nice prank from her older sister, convincing her to stick her arms into the fire when she was a child. And she survives with a glamour that makes her look really pretty. And she wants to take over. She's on the moon, and she wants to take over Earth. So she kind of forces an alliance with the ruler of Earth at the time, and she's pretty awful throughout the book. She does some really awful things. And, in this book, we get her backstory, which is pretty tragic. So, I think there's some sympathy that they pull at, finally in this story. But really, throughout the whole story, she's pretty awful. So, definitely going to get my vote for not a very nice villain. Alright, next up is Halloweentown, a book that's creepy or has a scary theme. So, let me just start by saying I have stacks of creepy books right now because for Halloween, or for October rather, I did a whole horror themed month. All I wanted to do was read horror books, and I ended up buying like 30 books, and I think I only read about 15 of them through the month, so I have quite a few left over. So I picked up 2 of those books that I have left over to kind of go over. And one of those is The Death of Jane Lawrence by Caitlin Starling. From what I understand, this is a gothic horror, and I don't really know too much outside of that, actually. I saw that this was getting a lot of hype in October. The cover is really cool and interesting, and I picked it up thinking, that I would get to it in October. So hopefully I'll be getting to this soon. I'm going to be trying to catch up on books that I should have read already within the next, month or two. And then the second spooky book I picked up was White Smoke by Tiffany Jackson. I love Tiffany Jackson's writing. From what I understand, this is a mixed family, so like a stepdad situation and step siblings, and that there's racial tensions and social issues and a haunted house and all sorts of wonderful things mixed together. This, for me, is just like one of the prettiest books. I love the cover of it, like the lettering, everything about it is perfect. So I'm really looking forward to getting to this one as well. Alright, next up is Christmastown, a book that left you feeling warm and fuzzy inside. To be honest, the book that really gives me the most warm and fuzzy vibes was The Cerulean Sea, The House in the Cerulean Sea, which I've already talked about. So I picked another book. I don't know if it necessarily made me feel warm and fuzzy, but it gave me like that warm, magical feeling. So I think it kind of fits. And that is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is one of my all-time favorite books. It is just so magical and beautiful, and it really fills you up. I don't know necessarily that it has like warm, fuzzy vibes, but it definitely really fills my soul, at least. So I feel like this is a really, really good book. I highly, highly recommend it. It's one of the most magical books that I've ever read. And finally, what's this? A book that took you by surprise. So this book I have a copy of in French, but I actually did read it in English. I was just gifted a copy of it in French by my mom, and that is The Enchanted by Renee Denfeld. This book is so beautiful. Ooh, didn't mean to drop that there. This book is so beautiful. I read it maybe 2 years ago, and it just stood out as one of the most beautiful books I think I've read, which is odd because it's actually about an inmate on death row and a murder. But the way that things are described, the intrigue, everything is just gorgeous. When I read it, I honestly didn't know that much about it. I had no idea what it was about. Didn't know the author's writing style, anything. And my mom was just like, this is so good, you have to read it. And she gave it to me, and I fell in love with it. And it's also one of my all-time favorite books, which is why my mom gifted me this French edition when she found it. So, The Enchanted by Renee Denfeld. That's the end of the Nightmare Before Christmas tag. Part of the tag is, of course, to tag another book account to do that. So I am actually going to go ahead and tag Lindsay's Little Library. She gave me such a lovely shout out over Thanksgiving, and I just want to, shout her out in return. She is such a lovely, sweet person and so encouraging. Going through her channel, I see that she's always shouting out, good accounts, bringing attention to other people. She genuinely wants people to succeed in the book community, and she does great book content herself. She seems just so lovely and personable. So I'm going to tag her next for the Nightmare Before Christmas book tag. And also, if you don't already follow her, go follow her. She is lovely. If you like my book content, you're certainly going to like her book content. So check her out. I will be linking her profile in the description. And, I just want to give credit as well to the person that started this book tag. I obviously did not create this myself. This is not my original tag. So credit where credit is due goes to the Butterfly Reader. That's where this tag originally came from. I will try my best to find a link for that and put it in the description. Sometimes with these old tags, the accounts have been deleted or the videos have been deleted. But if I can find the original video or the original blog post, I'm definitely going to be linking it below. And, I know that I've already tagged somebody, but if you're watching this video and this tag sounds great to you, please consider yourself tagged. Jump in and tag me in it so I can see it. I love seeing what people do for these tags. So I think that's the end of it. Me and Gibson are getting ready to head to bed here. Well, he's already kind of in bed, but I'm getting ready to head to bed as well. So I'm going to say goodnight for now. Real quick, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Feedback is great on videos. And let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this tag. What's your favorite Christmas movie? I told you that mine is Nightmare Before Christmas. Do you agree? Is that controversial? Are you, a fan of another Christmas movie? Let me know. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss a video. I do post regular book content every single week, many days in the week, so you'll never be bored with my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Me and Gibson are out, so we'll see you in the next video. Bye.